Welcome back to This Week in Video Games, to another Destiny 2 video. And in this video I'm going to show you how to get Izanagi's Burden, the exotic sniper rifle, after Shadowkeep updates. So Izanagi's Burden is probably the best DPS weapon in the game right now, and it's one of the most coveted weapons for PvE activities. So this is an exotic sniper which was originally available in Black Armory Season 5, and once you completed the mystery box quest. So since the launch of Shadowkeep, things have changed a little concerning getting this gun, so this is a guide for how to get Izanagi's Burden and all the quest steps involved. So back in Black Armory, Season of the Forge, Ada 1 was introduced into the game, as well as the Forges. So these Forges provided us with ways to grind out specific weapons, and over the weeks new Forges opened up. So there's 4 Forges in total: Valandra, Gafanan, Izanagi and Baguzia, and these were found dotted around the solar system. However, since the Shadowkeep update to the game back in October 2019, the Forges have changed. So in update 2.6.0.1, Bungie streamlined the Forges by saying Black Armory Forges are now accessible through a director launch playlist on the EDZ. Now, rather than having 4 locations to pick on the director, we have 1 and they rotate daily. So Monday you might get Valandra, Tuesday you might get Gafanan, Wednesday is Armory and Baguzia on Thursday, so you do have to wait a little bit with this quest. So this is important because we're going to need to do an activity in each forge on your way to getting Izanagi's Burden. By streamlining the forges, it does mean you have to wait a little bit. The good news is though, Izanagi's Burden is one of the best, if not the best, snipers in the game right now, and it may feel like a long quest, but it's worth it in the end. First up, we want to pick up the mystery box quest. And the first thing to do is you have to chat to Ada 1 and pick up the mystery box quest. She's found in the annex in the tower. You used to have to pick up this quest out there in the wild, but now all you have to do is go and pick it up from Ada 1. If you haven't met Ada 1 before, then you have to open up the forges through a quest line which involves speaking to Ada 1 and completing something called the machine gun frame quest. You want to do that first and you'll be able to continue to the next step of the quest, where you have to find the keys in the forges. Next up, you want to pick up the keys to open the mysterious box. And the first step of this quest is to pick up the keys, and they're relatively straightforward, although one takes a little bit more time than the others. First of all, we want to pick up the butterfly, the fishhook and the hand keys. To pick up these keys you have to clear the forges with a buff called maximum temper. And you can get maximum temper by destroying 2 little droids between the first and the second round of doing the forges. You have to be quick because they disappear pretty fast. And once you have maximum temper, you'll then finish the forges and open up a box to get the keys. So the first key is the butterfly key, and this is on the Izanagi forge, and you can find both droids above the 2 islands, meaning you can stand on the central island and take them out from a distance. So make sure you've got a good long range weapon here, either a scout or a sniper will do, and then you want to take them out. Continue to the end of the forge and open up the box to get the key. The next one is called the fishhook key, and that's found in the Valandra forge. So this time the first droid appears when you look out the back of the forge. You want to look up and take it out in between the trees there. Then you want to turn around quickly and you'll see the other flying inside the cave. Continue again through the forge, complete it, open up that box and you get the key. Then the hand key is found in the Gafanan forge, so this time the droids are fairly close together. One is near the wreckage and the other is near a cave. So we're going to take out those droids, finish up the forge, open up the box and get the key. When when you get the keys to drop at the end of the forge, you want to then go into your inventory, hover over the key and use them to insert them into the mysterious box. You want to do this 3 times with each key. It doesn't really matter what order you get the keys in. You don't have to get the butterfly key first, the fishhook second, the hand key third. Whatever forge is available to you on that day, just run that forge and then you have to wait the other days to get the other keys. Okay, so now we've got the 3 easy keys, it's time to get the Black Armory key. We'll still need to go through the max temper shenanigans, but after a little bit of work. So first of all, we want to speak to Ada 1. Go and speak to Ada 1 and she'll give you a Black Armory key mould. Next up, we want to get the Watcher lenses from the Leviathan. What we've got to do here is beat some specific enemies on the Leviathan, and this was the location for the first raid in Destiny 2. So they're called the Watchers and they can be found in the underbelly of the Leviathan. So the quest step here says you have to kill them all, but you can get around this by just killing 24. To find them, you want to drop into the Leviathan and run forward. You want to drop down under the bridge and interact with the levers in a specific pattern. So by doing this, you'll open up a path forward. So you want to do 1, 5, 3, 2, 4 and 6. You want to make sure you do it fast as the margin for error is pretty small. You'll know when you're done by seeing a prompt, "The way is open," in the bottom left hand corner of the screen. So once the path is open, you want to make your way up the ramps and make your way to the opening of where the pipes are. Jump along the pipes and along the ramps, making sure you don't fall into the mist, otherwise you're going to die instantly. Jump up to the left, through the door and make your way to the end and interact with the switch to turn on the fan. Jump up, go round, open the door and inside you'll find the Watchers. So there's 4 in here and they're accompanied by some ads. Kill the first Watcher and it will alert the Cabal to come and get you. And then the other Watchers will put up shields. So kill the Cabal and then you want to take out the Watchers. Simply repeat this process 6 times to get the required Watcher lenses. Next up, you want to collect Glimmering Amethyst. So for this step of the quest, you need to collect 200 Glimmering Amethyst. So you can do this by doing public events, opening planetary chests and finishing strikes. Public events give you 5 and heroic public events give you 10. You can also run strikes too, but that takes a little bit longer. I did this by running heroic public events, so I needed to do about 20. So once you've done that, it's on to the next step of the quest. And now, it's time to get the final key. So once you've gathered all the Glimmering Amethyst, you need to go back to the Baguzia Forge and get a max temper here. So if the Baguzia Forge is not available on that day, you're going to have to wait. And there's plenty of websites out there that's going to tell you which forge is available on which day. So as with the other forges, to get max temper, you need to kill the 2 droids in between rounds 1 and 2. So you can find the droids here. You want to beat the forge and then you want to open up the box to get the final key. So once you've done this, you'll finally be able to open up the mysterious box. So you want to go back to Ada and open up the mysterious box. And for the next step of the quest, you're going to need a Black Armory rare bounty. So this is likely to be the toughest part of the quest. It's not because it's hard, but it's because you're going to be relying on RNG. You've got a chance for a rare bounty to drop on completion of a regular daily and weekly bounties from Ada 1. Also, there's a small chance of a rare bounty being dropped from completing forges, but in my experience I had to turn in a daily bounty and that turned into a rare bounty. The good news is, though, Bungie recently buffed the drop rate of Black Armory rare bounties in update 2.7.1, and they said acquisition of Black Armory rare bounties has been significantly improved. So players that complete all available weekly and daily bounties will acquire a rare bounty within 5 days. So that's really good news there for everyone chasing this weapon. Once you've got the rare bounty, you want to complete it to receive the Obsidian Crystal. To get this rare bounty, you want to keep completing the daily bounties from Ada, and within 5 days of turning in bounties you'll get a rare bounty to drop. The requirements for the rare bounty are likely to take you some time. For example, with mine, I had to ignite the forge 25 times. It took a while, I can tell you that. So once you've finally got that done, you want to complete a run of the Shattered Throne. So you can find this on the Dreaming City and you can pick it from the director. But now you've got your Obsidian Crystal, you want to do a run of the Shattered Throne. So as I mentioned, you can find this on the Dreaming City and you'll likely want to do this with a fire team. So what you want to do here is hit up some friends or find some buds on LFG. So the Bungie Companion app is also really good for finding Guardians for specific events. So the objective here is to kill the final boss Dul in Karu. Once you've done that, it's on to the next step of the quest. So next up, you want to complete a reprise of the Pyramidion Strike. So this can be found on IO, and again, you'll probably want to run this with a fire team. So make sure you access this through the director on IO and don't pick the strike directly, because that's not going to work. You want to kill the boss and then it's finally on to the last step. So the final step of this marathon quest asks you to kill civics on the EDZ. So head on over to the EDZ and launch the mission from the patrol beacon, chase down civics, kill him, and then finally, you've done it. So go back to Ada 1 and pick up Izanagi's burden. So you want to go back to the tower, go to the annex, speak to Ada, she'll give you a little bit of dialogue, and then she'll finally hand over Izanagi's burden. So now you've got Izanagi's burden, you want to check it out. So the main perk on this weapon is Honed Edge, and by holding reload the gun consumes the entire magazine to load a round with additional range and damage. So this is what is going to be really useful in PvE activities when you want to unload big damage on strike or raid bosses. So it's also got Chambered Compensator for that increase in stability, Accurized Rounds for that increase in range, Outlaw for the decrease in reload time, and Composite Stock for better handling and stability. So you can check out some footage here of me using Izanagi's burden out there in the Altars of Sorrow, taking out enemies, and it's really, really good fun. And as I mentioned before, you can get absolutely mad DPS with this gun, and it's going to be worth picking up this weapon and going through this quest to have this in your inventory. So this is going to be good for strikes, raid bosses, and any PvE activity really. It's really, really good. But what do you think of Izanagi's burden, and do you think the quest is worth it? Let me know down in the comments and let me know how you got on with the quest. Well, that's it for this guide on how to get Izanagi's burden, and thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. And if you want to be notified the next time I upload, then hit that bell button too. To join in the community, check out the Discord link in the description. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, then liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out these other videos on the channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.